Did you know that in 2010, 43 million preschoolers were considered overweight or obese? Today I'm going to be talking about childhood obesity and some of the things that we need to do and recognize as a population to get rid of that problem. I'll be touching up on three things mainly. The first thing I'll be talking about is the soda to water consumption ratio. Next thing I'll talk about is the physical activity that our children are lacking. And the third thing that I'll talk about is kind of setting a good example, knowing that what you're doing is best for your kid, being a good example. So first things first, research shows from the ASPE that soda consumption has risen and milk consumption has lowered tremendously since the 1990s. I know I said water before, but this also applies to milk as well, any healthy form of food or drink. But when I was raised, I knew that milk was good for my bones, so I knew, okay, if I'm having this cookie, I'm going to have a glass of milk. Or, okay, I had this the other morning, but I'm going to have a bowl of cereal this morning. I'm going to put extra milk in it. My parents told me that milk was good for my bones. I don't know if today, if it's, parents aren't telling their kids that, or if, it's more of a just a learn / teach kind of thing. I mean, if you see your mom or dad as a child and you see your mom or dad carrying around a Dr. Pepper or a Mountain Dew or whatever it is, you learn from that. You think, okay, well, mom's having one, it's okay if I have one. And they kind of forget what's most important, milk and water. Also relating to water, something that's kind of an issue for me at least is the fact that we have lack of water in some areas, either whether it's a gymnasium or a school, whatever it is. There are a lot of places that, you might run into a water fountain around the corner every now and then, but overall, do we really have enough water to provide for everyone in that gym or for everyone in that school or whatever it may be? And that definitely applies to kids. In my mind, it does. Next I'm going to talk about is the physical activity that children are lacking. I know people might argue otherwise and say, well, they have playgrounds, they still have PE and they still have playtime and all this stuff, and they can go play on the playground whenever. Yeah, they can. They can if they want. But it's become a problem that video games and TV has become so important that they may look at the playground and think, oh, I don't really want to play on the playground because I have a TV back at home, or, my parents just bought me this PlayStation that, I have all these games that I can play. So yes, we do have these playgrounds. We do have places for them to play and to get good exercise in, but technology has become, and this big problem has overtaken a lot of children's time, and that's what's really sad. That's not what technology should be used for. So also what I want to touch up on is, kind of what I talked about earlier. If you have a pop in your hand, your kid's going to look at you and think, okay, well, it's okay if mom does, so I'm going to have one. Same thing for exercising as well. If you don't exercise and they don't see you putting in hard work, why do they expect them to be putting in hard work, So set a good example for your kid. Set a good example for any kid in that matter. You don't even have to have kids to be a good example. Even if you have little cousins, little nephews, nieces, whatever it is, be a good example. Show them what it is to have a healthy lifestyle, and just be there for them to support them if they are in that overweight or obese category. Be there and support them, and know that, it's going to take time and you have to have patience, but you can get there, as long as you're setting a good example for yourself and for them. So that's what I want to talk about today, childhood obesity. Hope you enjoyed. Be a good example.